Hello friends, myself Poorti, and this video is going to be useful for the students who are preparing for NEET and CSIR NET. And in this video I have taken this topic, that is the transport across the membrane, as we know that the transportation is very useful for us. Similarly, inside the cells the movement of solutes is very important. And how do they do it by a term that is called diffusion. Okay, in the diffusion you have heard there is a movement of molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration, and this in this process energy is not needed. And the other one is that of the is called the active transport, in which energy is needed. So let us see in detail. Then this is a picture over here. This is the cell membrane. You have to remember that this is the semi-permeable membrane. There is high concentration of solutes outside the cell, and inside there is very less concentration of the molecules. So the first one is that the passive diffusion. Okay, in this normal diffusion is going on, that is the molecules are going to the lower concentration, they are going inside the cell. Just see the arrow over like this. Okay, and no energy is needed. It is very important factor. And the next one is that of the facilitated diffusion. In this, energy is also not needed, everything is same as that of diffusion. And in this, the carrier protein is there. Okay, and the third one is that is active transport. In this, energy is needed. Why? Because a molecule is moving from the lower concentration to higher concentration. Okay, just see the arrow. And in this, a carrier protein is also needed. So these things we have to remember. Let's see some more facts about this. First, see about the passive diffusion. The examples are water and gases. Okay, and in this process again the energy is not required. In the we talk about the facilitated diffusion, no energy is required. Okay, and one term is there, concentration gradient, means from higher to lower. Okay, so they move along the concentration gradient. This is important, and it needs a carrier proteins. Okay, it needs a carrier proteins, and the examples are glucose, galactose, etc. And the very important is that this active transport, that is the molecules move against the concentration gradient, that is from the lower concentration to higher concentration with the use of energy. What is energy? ATP. Okay, and there is a sodium potassium pump we will study. One thing I want to tell you is that in our cells, what is there is high concentration of potassium inside. Okay, and outside there is high concentration of sodium ions, and this is very important factor for the survival of the cells. So to maintain this sodium potassium pump work over here. And let us see how it works. See in this picture given here, this is the membrane, this is the outside, this is the inside of the cell. And we know that the inside, what must be the condition? There is high concentration of potassium. So just see the arrow, 2 potassium ions are transported to inside. Okay, and along with this, the 3 sodium ions are transported from inside to outside. Just see the arrow. Okay, so and in this process energy is also needed, and it is assisted by an enzyme that is called as sodium potassium ATPase. Okay, so one thing more important in this, one more term is their co-transport system, and the example is the sugar. That is, along with this sodium potassium pump, one more molecule is also transported, that is sugar. Okay, so we can understand these transport systems in these terms also. That is uniport. What is that? The same one molecule is transported from from higher to lower, you can say inside to outside. in one direction. Okay, and the symport means that is the two different molecules are transported in one direction, and antiport means that the two different molecules are transported in two different direction. One is coming when one is going. Okay, and what is co-transport? Co-transport also constitute these two terms, that is the symport and antiport. One thing more, that is the active transport is, it is of also two types, primary and secondary. What is primary? If the energy which is used here, it is the ATP, then it is called the primary one, primary active transport. And in the case of the secondary active transport, energy is used from the ionic concentration gradient. Okay, so co-transport is an example of the secondary active transport. So let us revise what is important in this video once again. So in passive diffusion, no energy is needed, no carrier is needed, no carrier protein is needed, only the simple diffusion carries on. In the facilitated diffusion, what is there? No energy is needed and this carrier protein is needed. Simple diffusion is going on. In active process, what happens? That is the movement of solutes or substances move from opposite concentration gradient, like low, from low concentration to high concentration. Okay, and energy is needed and carrier protein is needed. Now next thing is that in this sodium potassium pump, that is the two potassium are coming inside and three sodium are going outside, and this is also important, that is the co-transport. Okay, co-transport is an example of the secondary active transport. So in the next video we will talk about the plant hormones, and please do like and share and subscribe it. Thank you.